Hello, peace, beautiful people. I hope everybody has been having a good Tuesday. I was just standing outside. I have to get outside in nature at least once a day. Preferably, I wish I could get out in nature much more than once, but definitely I have to get out at least once a day. Um, and I think I had one viewer. I'm just trying to make sure that you guys can see me. I may have to restart this video because typically it will be giving me another message. If you can see me, okay, yes, it says we're live. All right, so I just wanted to make sure before I really started going in and with the good stuff, because I've been given something that's really, really unique and beautiful. The more that I think about it, I'm just like, wow, okay. But yeah, ironically, I was listening to Tupac getting ready to come out here and participate in one of my good friend Amar, her yoga challenge. I was getting ready to participate in it, and I don't know, I was just thinking about Tupac, and so I just started listening to Ambitionz Az, and I'm just sitting there bopping my head, like really, really feeling it. And it made me think about even with your ambition and thinking about what fuels you, like what even fuels your ambition, because in order for the ambition to be effective, like it has to be properly nourished and managed, just like anything, just like your body. So really, what are you fueling your ambition? So like if you've been feeling like, and I mean, I'm human. I go through everything that I talk to you guys about. This is stuff that I go through too. So that's why I like to just kind of talk and share, because this is stuff that I'm learning as I'm growing as well. But yeah, so I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking about, so what fuels? Think about a car. Think about having a car and not knowing, let's say you never had been introduced to a vehicle at all in your life. No one showed you, okay, well, this is a car. You have to put, gas in the car to get it to run. This is how you turn the key into the ignition to get it to start. Just different things like that. This is a steering wheel. You have to turn it to a certain degree to get it to turn and make, turns and curves and things of that nature. This is the gas pedal. You have to press the gas pedal while turning the steering wheel to get the car to go in the direction that you want it to go. So let's say you had never been introduced to any of those concepts. And let's say you were, kind of just crash landing and learning how to maneuver a vehicle without anyone giving you any insight on how to do it at all. Okay, so imagine you have this car, this big, beautiful dream car, this big, beautiful dream vehicle that you have always wanted, this Maybach, since that's what's hot right now, this Maybach or this Range Rover or this Mercedes or this Lexus, Infiniti, BMW, whatever it is that you've always wanted, and you got it. Bugatti, I gotta throw that one in there too. Let's say you got it, and you're just standing here in awe, and then you're just like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing that has ever happened to me. But then you go to drive the car, and you have no clue. And you're like, holy crap, I have this big, beautiful dream vehicle, this big, beautiful, expensive, specially manufactured and crafted. I have this big, beautiful piece of machinery, but I have no idea how to get it to run. You know what I'm saying? What if you had never even been introduced to gasoline, so you didn't even know what gas was, and someone said they gave you like a half-baked instruction on how to get the car to run. Oh yeah, put that stuff in it, it's liquid, it's liquid. And you're like, okay, it's liquid. So you go and you get some water, and you put some water in the car, and you end up doing what? Tearing it up. Tearing it the what up, okay? So you get your car rebuilt, and then you go to that person and you're just like, okay, well, you told me to put some liquid in it to get it to go. And then they like, oh yeah, my bad, I should have been more specific. It's a dark liquid. You know what I'm saying? It's a dark liquid. And you're just like, okay. So you go off again, not knowing all the instructions, not even understanding what you're doing, what's going on. You just know you have this big, beautiful car that you've always wanted, and you want to be able to use it and to have some sort of use outside of just being big and beautiful to you. And so you go, and let's say you find a dark liquid, but it's oil, and you put oil in the gas tank because you don't know any better, because the person gave you some instructions, but they gave you some instructions that weren't 100%, you know, the full picture. It wasn't the whole thing. They gave you instructions, but they weren't complete instructions. They gave you incomplete instructions. They gave you some incomplete instructions. So you use those incomplete instructions, and you go and you put oil in your gas tank and tear your car up yet again, right? Tearing this Maybach up, you know, spending thousands on thousands of dollars, and you're just like, okay, all right, look, you know. Or maybe someone does it for you, and they're just like, look, I'm gonna fix this car for you one last time. You better get it right this time. So you go and you take your car, and what are you gonna do this time? This time you're not gonna settle for incomplete instructions. This time you're gonna demand that this person gives you an owner's manual. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna demand that this person gives you something that is going to be specific in the maintenance of the vehicle, to a point where it's like lay terms, to where someone in, you know, 6th grade could read it and understand how to maintain that vehicle. If not, then there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of something wrong. You know, you're not learning the lesson. You haven't gained anything from everything that you've gone through thus far, other than becoming bitter. Ding, ding, ding. Other than becoming bitter about it, you haven't really gained anything. So you keep fixing the car, and it keeps breaking down because you're using incomplete instructions to maintain it. So yeah, I was just thinking about your ambition. You know what I'm saying? What is really fueling your ambition? What is fueling my ambition? That's something that I think everyone should think about, especially people who like entrepreneurs and people in business, because of the fact that if your ambition, because your ambition basically is your boss. Your ambition is your boss. You don't have a supervisor. When you work for yourself, you don't have a supervisor standing over your shoulder telling you to finish this or do that, or get up and go here, network there, do this, that, and the third. It's your ambition. It's your level of what we call go get it. Go out and get it. So what is fuel? It needs to be healthy. It needs to be a healthy level of ambition to deal with not only the good parts of entrepreneurship, but also the things that are not so good. The moments that, you know, business owners don't post on social media. You know, the moments where people who are building a dream, you know, you won't learn about until they've made it, and they, you know, then they can turn back and share, oh well, yeah, there was this one time, well, it was so bad. You know, you won't know that until then. So yeah, just what fuels it? What is fueling you to get up and go? What is fueling you to get up and go? What is fueling you to continue this business or this craft? What is fueling you even to want to begin a craft or to begin a business? What's fueling you? And the reason I ask that is because sometimes we don't even know it. We don't realize it, but sometimes the things that fuel us are not necessarily good things. And when I say good things, I understand that good and bad is a perception, But when I say good things, I mean things that are like nourishment, real nourishment to our ambition overall. Sometimes we could be feeding it BS, you know, GMO stuff that's not good for us, things like attention, you know what I'm saying? Things like fueling it a happiness or a joy out of not, you know, feeling like someone else is doing what we're doing, or, you know, whatever, some type of a negative connotation. It's like gratification to get our egos, or to get our, you know, our ambition, to feed our ambition something to say, oh, well, I'm better, or I'm doing more than this person is doing over here. I got this going on my team. I got this, that, and the third. You know, I've reached this amount of success with my business, or I am networking within this circle right here and it's bigger, and or I'm doing this over here and this person isn't, or that person isn't, or this group of people isn't. So it validates me, and it fuels, in a sense, it fuels my ambition or my drive and my willpower to want to continue. But the thing about it is that is dangerous. That is dangerous because of the fact that when you fuel your ambition out of such a broken place, it can be easily shattered. It can be easily shattered by, you know, in the event that those things that gratify you, you don't get them. You know what I'm saying? You don't, you know, you're not getting that result. The result may not even be to where you're, you know, doing so much more than what anybody else is doing, you know. So what do you do then? What do you do then? You know, I'll tell you what happens. That's when, you know, anxiety and depression and all those other things creep their way in, because your ambition wasn't being fueled by gasoline. It was being fueled by water. You know, it was being fueled by something that's not the right thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not the thing that's going to keep the car going over a long term. You know what I'm saying? You need something that's going to keep the engine running for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, for years. Like, you know, you can't fuel, the engine ain't going to keep running off of, you know, wanting to be better than this or that for the rest of your life, because you don't know what may happen. You know what I'm saying? You may be put in a different situation where those circumstances change and it's not even the same thing anymore. Then what? You know, then where do you find your ambition? So yeah, I just want us to be more aware of that. And that really, and the reason I included the root chakra into this title is because although your willpower is represented and fueled by your solar plexus, that's definitely solar plexus chakra, all of that, your solar plexus, your sacral, both are fueled by your what? Your root. It's all, the whole system going up is fueled by your root chakra. And what your root chakra represents is your basic needs. You know, food, water, and security. Food, water, security, shelter, those type of things. So when and I say that to say this, when your root chakra is questionable, or you don't have as much security on the root level, you're kind of like, you know, here and there, it's not solid. It can lead to those issues rising up and going into your solar plexus. So that unhealthy attachment, that unhealthy comparison, and your ambition, and your dreams and your ambition being fueled by that unhealthy comparison, always unhealthy comparison to others and to what somebody else is doing and to what somebody else has, or what you perceive that you should have but you don't have, instead of fueling your ambition on an internal desire to want to be your greatest, or whoever it is that you're, you know, whatever you feel that your greatest is, because my greatest is not the same as your greatest, whatever the greatest thing is in your mind, and it's designed that way. Our greatest is not designed to be the same as the next person beside me, and, you know, so on down the line. It's designed that way. It's designed that way. Everybody's dream is different, and we should respect that. But yeah, just really look at your circumstances. If you feel yourself feeling that way with being riddled with unhealthy comparison, either your circumstances are not the best, you know, and you need to continue to build on your root chakra. Or now there are people with damaged root chakras who are multi-millionaires, and it's because of the fact that on their way up, on that climb up, on that journey up, a lot of people like that, that's the type of person they say came from nothing. You know, they came from nothing. They came from some very rough circumstances. So like a lot of, you know, a lot of rappers, a lot of these hip-hop artists, you know what I'm saying, they come from nothing. And you see that unhealthy comparison a lot in hip-hop music now, well, rap music now. I don't want to insult anyone who feels that this is not hip-hop anymore. Hip-hop is dead, some people say. But yeah, you see that a lot in rap music, and it's, yeah, you can see the damage that's been done to people from people's root chakra, not having, growing up, not having food, not having water, not having, like, you know what I'm saying, security, as in people coming in and out of the house, you know, doing all kind of stuff, children being exposed to any and everything. So I just want us to be aware as entrepreneurs. Specifically, this is a lot really towards entrepreneurs specifically, or business, people who have started a business, or maybe thinking about starting a business. Whatever that, think about your motivation, guys. Really be concerned with the direction of what motivates you to get up, get out of your bed, and, you know, promote your business, or the way that you do, and that makes you want to brand yourself a certain way, that makes you want to, you know what I'm saying, think about your motives, and just make sure your motives are coming from a healthy place. You know what I'm saying? Like totally being how do I want to say this, totally coming from you, totally having nothing to do with anything outside of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Having nothing to do. It has to be completely removed from anything outside of you, because this is what you want to do. You want to brand yourself like this. You want to start your business on this day. Not because you're trying to be so-and-so to the punch, or you trying to do this, or you trying to one-up somebody. Nah, because you want to do it. This is your idea because this is your idea. So, I hope I'm making sense with that, because if you're doing, whatever you're doing, if you're doing it from a place of that unhealthy comparison, and I'm telling you that is not the way that you want to go. And the world is big enough for us all to excel, y'all. I guess that's what I want to end it on. The world is big enough for us all to excel and to be great, you know, and to be great at whatever it is that we were put here to do. There is no shortage of resource in this world. If you have a mentality that thinks that there is lack and shortage and all that kind of stuff, guess what? You manifest that. You manifest that into your own life. You manifest that into your own existence. It is that because you say that it is. For no other reason than because you said so. You said that, okay, well, I got to be on top. I got to do this. It's got to be me, 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 me. But, and that means that there's lack somewhere. If it's not enough for me and you and her and him and all of us. So just really be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. And I want to reassure you again, it's a seat at the table for everybody except those who exclude themselves. And if you exclude yourself, be firm in your decision to exclude yourself. You know, don't hate on other people who choose to sit at the table or create a table to sit at. Whatever their choice is to do, be firm and be strong and be resolute and be certain in your own decision-making abilities to choose to exclude yourself from the table and be all right with that. Yeah, that's what I want to say. That's what I want to say. Be all right with that. Check your ambitions as a rider. That's what I want to say. Check them. Check them. Stop comparing yourself to people. That's an insult to God, to the Creator. That's an insult. That's the biggest insult you could ever do, is to compare yourself to anybody else, dead or alive. To compare yourself to someone else means that, you know, who God created you to be, who the universe created you to be, is by mistake. Is by some chance that, you know, oh, you got it wrong. You know, you are who you are. Be that person. Be you. Be you. Take all the layers off. Now, I do understand taking layers off, because when we're born into this society that puts all these different labels and layers and whatever on us. So take the labels off and the layers off and really discover who you are, and be certain and be firm and be resolute and stand on that thing like it's your square, because it is your square. Doggone it, it's your square, and ain't nobody gonna knock you off that mug. All right, well, I hope you guys have a great evening, and I may or may not get on later to talk about new moon. I may or may not. I don't know. It just depends on how the wind blow. Like literally, because I'm outside. All right, peace.